There's only one way to present this review, given the way the film is presented. On with the review.
Well, the sleepless night, I had a kind of dream for sure. When I woke up in the morning, felt like I was...
Hello, my fellow YouTubers and subscribers, and welcome to my latest movie review, where today I review Belfast, written and directed by Kenneth Brannagh, and released in 2022. So, Belfast, this is a film that has been getting heavy attention from the Academy and from audiences. It seems to be very popular at the moment, and it's a passion project of sorts of Kenneth Brannagh. It's a story he's wanted to tell for many, many years, and now he's finally got the chance to do it. So the plot of this film is as follows. A young boy and his working-class Belfast family experienced the tumultuous late 1960s. Adding to that, basically, this is set during the period where the Catholics and the Protestants are having their rivalry. There's a lot of religious conflict going on, and there are these riots, protests going on in the sort of working class deprived Belfast streets. And we focus on a boy named Buddy and his family, and we basically see the whole thing through his eyes and his life and the pressures of trying to live under those conditions, as well as the pressures of his family life in regards to his parents' marriage, their financial situation, the feelings he has for his school friend, Catherine, and also sort of coming to terms with potentially moving away. Now, I want to give a shout out as well, because one of my subscribers and one of my close YouTube friends is actually from, well, Belfast. Well, not that far away from Belfast anyway. Jack the Film Fanatic. He knows quite a lot about the, where this film takes place and the history of it. And I'd just like to give him a shout out, because I think this review really should be for him. As, this is a film that probably holds a very close, tug to his heart as well. So, as for what I thought of the movie, well, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. This is an excellent film. It's a really touching, uplifting, heartwarming film. It's not completely depressing and horrific, as I thought it was going to be. I was surprised at how much emotion there was in this film. And when I say emotion, I don't necessarily mean it sad, I mean emotion in the sense that there's a variety of emotions. There's a lot of happiness in this film, which I really appreciate, and the fact that Kenneth Brannagh wanted to show both sides of this time in Belfast, and how the families and the kids actually were enjoying their lives. They didn't have a problem with the area. It was the incident that was going on at the time that was horrific, which was forcing a lot of people to leave. And, some people didn't get to leave, sadly. Some people stayed, and some people lost their lives as well, which was really tragic. I don't know much about the history of the incident, but from what I could tell from the way the filmmaking was, it felt very real, and it felt very sort of holocaustic. That might be an exaggeration. It did feel kind of powerful, like it was, whoa, like you were actually there. And I think that's probably why the film was also shot in black and white. It being shot in black and white, there were a couple of moments which were in colour, where the family go to watch theatre and film. Like there's a reference to Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, where they go and see that film in the cinema, and that's in colour. So I guess the idea was that that it was in colour because it was fantasy escapism, and that was why the filmmakers chose to distinguish that, because the harsh reality of the world they were living in was then since gone, if you understand what I mean. And they also go to see A Christmas Carol on stage as well, and that's all in colour. And I thought that was an interesting choice, and I thought it worked very well creatively for the film. And I liked the idea behind Brannagh's decision to do those scenes in colour. There's also a scene when they watch Star Trek on the TV, but that's not in colour. So all the kind of references to sort of pop culture were nice. They were just subtly embedded in there when they needed to be. But at its core, the family drama was really good in this film, really solid, and I really cared for these characters, and I think that's something that a lot of filmmakers struggle to do nowadays, is to make the characters emotionally engaging, and I think Brannagh does that with complete ease. Looking at the cast, Jude Hill is Buddy, the main kid in the film, and he's amazing. He's one of the best child actors that I've ever seen on screen. Move over, Jake Lloyd. There's a new kid in town. Yeah, Jude Hill is absolutely brilliant. He has a lot of emotional range as an actor. He's quite funny as well. There's a lot of comedy in this film. There's some really great one-liners, and he delivers some of them, and he's really good. And you kind of feel sorry for him with the situation that he's living in with his family, and also the fact he has a massive crush on this girl who's in his maths class or something, and she kind of feels the same way, but they're too young to kind of know how to express their feelings. And I must say the ending of the film is quite heartbreaking. I won't give away what happens, but it's certainly heartbreaking to see how their relationship ends. Let's just say that. We have Lewis McAskie as Will, who is his brother. He does a good job, though he's kind of more in the background than some of the others. Caitriona Balfe, I hope I've said that right, as the mother. She's really good. She and Jamie Dornan as the father, they are excellent in this film. They give solid performances. Judi Dench, yeah, Judi Dench is in this film as the grandmother. And let's just say her Irish accent is much better than it was in Artemis Fowl. I mean, what the hell was she doing in that film? That was also Kenneth Branagh directing that movie. And Judi Dench, what the hell? She was doing some kind of weird gruff Irish accent in that film. But in this, she's definitely learned how to do the accent, and it's very convincing. And she also gives a very emotional performance as well. I think Judi Dench has redeemed herself after the mess that was Artemis Fowl and the catastrophe that was Cats. So we can rest assured, folks, Judi Dench has not lost her mojo. Ciarán Hinds as the grandfather, he was one of my favourites, actually. I loved him. I thought he was such a lovely character. The way he interacted with his grandson, the way he interacted with his family. He's a real family man, and you can see that he loved his wife as well. There's that lovely moment where him and Judi Dench are dancing around, and it's after Buddy explains about how he likes this girl and how to woo her, and his grandfather, then starts singing and dancing with his wife, which is really nice. It's a lovely moment. Like, some of those small moments actually really impact the story because they're so uplifting, and it just, again, it shows you a different perspective on what life was like back then, as to the other side of it. I'm not going to go through the whole cast because there are some others, but they all give really good performances. There isn't a bad performance in here. I think the film is beautifully shot, and again, the black and white style really works for it, and some of the camera work is flawless. It's kind of horrific to think that how extreme the religious views were at that time, and how the Catholics and Protestants couldn't really coexist because all of this terror that was going on. And it is horrible to watch, and it does tug on your heartstrings, but it's almost kind of like the film Titanic. It puts you so in the moment that you believe it's real and you believe you're actually there. So I think Brannagh did his job at showing how effective that was. And this movie isn't long. It's 1 hour 37 minutes, and it didn't need to be any longer. It was the perfect length. It didn't overindulge with the violence or the riot scenes, and it didn't spend too long on the family drama. I think there was a lovely balance, and I think he got the balance pitch perfect. And honestly, the pacing of this movie, flawless, absolutely flawless. And I like the way the film starts, with it starting in colour in the present day, and then over the sign as we tilt up, as we pan up, we then go to the black and white street in the 60s. And again, it really works. It really, really works. I mean, they could have done the film in colour, but I think this just gives it such a style, and it's such an essence of what the time was like. It adds that kind of grittiness as well. But like I said, those moments in colour are really specific to the escapism of Buddy's imagination at that moment. He wants to do things that any kid would do. He wants to go and enjoy things. He wants to see things. He doesn't want to be stuck at home, worrying about money and worrying about his family. And I think Branagh's direction is absolutely superb. This is quite possibly his best film. I mean, it could be one of his best filming efforts. I think it really is amazing. It's a great film. It really is amazing, and I hope that the Academy give it the recognition that it deserves. So, I'm going to score Belfast a 10 out of 10.
Well, the sleepless night, I had a kind of dream for sure. When I woke up in the morning, felt like I was coming down to joy. What did
Yeah, I truly believe it deserves it. It is an incredible film, and I saw this. There was a few other people in my screening, and there wasn't a pin drop heard throughout the whole film. I mean, they were laughing at some of the jokes, of course. There are some great jokes in the film. I won't spoil them. Go and see the movie to find out what they are. But yeah, so the movie captures every single emotion that you could want. So anyway, that's my review of Belfast. What do you think of this film? Please comment down below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more reviews in the future. Speaking of Kenneth Branagh, I will be reviewing Death on the Nile. That is coming soon. I might try and review the original version as well. And I will also be reviewing Uncharted when I can next see that. So until then, thank you very much all for watching. And as always, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. See ya. Bye for now.